So today I'm headed for my first ever carnivore meetup. What's a carnivore meetup? Well, I'm going to find out. Going up to Montello, Wisconsin to see Kerry from Homestead How. If you're into the carnivore space, you know who he is and what he does, and I'm going to go see how it goes. Should be fun. So I stopped off in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Beautiful, beautiful place. Gonna do a little mountain biking on my way over to Montello. So it's just beautiful up here in La Crosse. They have gorgeous mountain biking trails. Having a great morning so far. Can't wait to go meet Kerry and Dr. Kiltz and whoever else is going to be at this big carnivore meetup. It's pretty cool, and yeah, I feel really good. 9 months into carnivore here. 50 pounds down, feeling great. 54 years old. Hey man, just eat meat. So we're having a little bit of a carnivore dinner here with Dr. Kiltz and Kerry from Homestead How, who's putting together a documentary called Healing Humanity, the power of a proper human diet, and it's stories of people who have healed themselves with carnivore. We're just having a little meetup here, a little dinner, and it's been a lot of fun so far. And pretty quick here, we're going to get into some prime rib, and I will check in again a little bit later.
Oh, actually, look at that bad boy.
You like a carnivore rare.
A table full of YouTube.
I know, right? How many YouTube channels is this dinner going to be on?
All right, start the live stream. All right. Well, again, stand but close enough.
So this is the theater in Montello, Wisconsin. Healing Humanity is the documentary about the carnivore diet and its wonderful aspects of healing people in various aspects of their lives. So come on in, check it out.
Dr. Rick, is Dr. Rick in the house? There he is. Next up we have Dr. Rick, who's an orthopedic surgeon that does carnivore. Sounds kind of familiar, right? Dr. Rick has an incredible story. He's doing a YouTube channel. He's inspiring a lot of people. He came on my channel and we met a while ago. And he's going to share his inspiring story with everyone now.
Thank you. And thanks
Kerry, for inspiring me. I've been obese and not obese my whole life. My first foray into something that would approximate the carnivore diet was between 8th grade and 9th grade year, heading into high school. My mom said, there's this crazy Atkins diet. And so she would make me the egg bread, and, I lost a bunch of weight. And then I got into high school, and I started wrestling. And so then I didn't have to worry about it anymore. We just didn't eat. And I wrestled 157 pounds my senior year. After my 50-pound weight loss now, still weigh 230, so I'm 80 pounds more than I was in high school. I was pretty skinny. And then I went off to college, and I went into a fraternity, and they fed me a steady diet of pizza and beer.
Okay. It'll probably go back on to keep talking.
Okay. Fed me a steady diet of pizza and beer, and I ballooned up again. And I could always sort of out-exercise. I just got to exercise more. Cut back a little bit, exercise a little bit more. Then as I got older, I would do more extreme things like Body for Life. I don't know if you know Body for Life, but you got to head off to work with a backpack full of 6 meals. You got to eat every 2 hours, and you got to get up in the morning and just get really intense before the day. And it works great until you're just like, man, I can't do this forever. And so, in and out, I did P90X, I did Ideal Protein, I did all these very unsustainable things. And, going along, I've got 2 beautiful daughters that are 16 and 14 now. And a year ago, I didn't realize I had sleep apnea, and then I realized I did. And I was very overwhelmed with stress at work. I'm at one hospital, and I was doing 10 to 15 surgeries a week. I was the only person there, so it was just very intense. And on top of that, I had sleep apnea, and every morning I would wake up and I would just curse the dawn. And so I got the sleep apnea. I got that studied, and I got my CPAP, and I just started feeling a lot better. I said, okay, now what's next? How am I going to fix this thing, this obesity? I had metabolic syndrome. That's what really got me, is I had to go on to antihypertensive medicines, and I actually had to go on one, double it, and then add another one. And I was like, oh boy. So I had metabolic syndrome. If you don't know what metabolic syndrome is, it's a category of 5 indices of health that basically, if you have 3 of these 5, it's blood pressure, body mass index, and or weight. It's triglycerides, and resting or fasting blood glucose, and whatever else I didn't say. Anyway, had 3 of those. And so I have metabolic syndrome, which says you're a ticking time bomb. I said, man, I got to do something. What am I going to do? And I was a big fan of Jordan Peterson. Really, Jordan Peterson helped me really get a deeper relationship with God, with his way of looking at the Bible and his long lectures on. If you haven't seen Jordan Peterson's biblical lectures, go watch them. Even if you're not a Christian, it'll deepen your understanding of faith and God and your place in the universe. And then he starts talking about, I just eat meat. Like, what? You just eat meat? And then of course Rogan, and then Sean Baker, who actually I recorded with 2 days ago, or maybe yesterday, on my way up here on my big carnivore weekend. My carnivore weekend this weekend is on the way here. I stopped and mountain biked in La Crosse, Wisconsin, did Sean Baker's podcast, and then came here, had dinner last night with Dr. Kiltz and met him and the rest of the Healing Humanity crew and Kerry in person. So this has been like a massive carnivore weekend, so I'm very excited to be here. I don't think anybody's ever had a more carnivore weekend. Tell me if you have. And we had prime rib last night, and I think I ate 3 pounds of it. But so, I saw Kerry. And this is kind of an amazing thing for me, because I'm like, well, who's this crazy homesteader guy who's now fixed his heart failure? Whoa, that was the thing. Like, he didn't just lose weight, he fixed everything. And so January 1st of this year, I said I'm going carnivore, and I had just left. I practiced my first 10 years on the island of Kauai in Hawaii. and I had just left Hawaii, and I had everything I wasn't supposed to have. Loco Moco, which is a giant scoops of rice with hamburger patties, eggs and gravy, and spam musubi, and all the good stuff. And so I had ballooned up to 280 pounds. And probably the first 2 weeks, I lost 15, 20 pounds. I figured, well, a lot of that's water, and it just kept coming off. And so then I kept increasing my weight training and decreasing my cardio and just getting fitter and fitter. But it blew open my whole perspective, not only on what I was taught as a physician, how I approach my patients. I incorporate metabolic health into my practice in a multitude of ways that are too long to go into right now. But any of my patients who are obese, I say, man, you saw me and now you see me. Or if they didn't, I'll say, well, I was 50 pounds heavier and a lot, I probably gained 10 pounds of muscle, so I probably lost 60 pounds of fat. You can do this. All you got to do is eat meat. And a lot of them, they look at me and they say, yeah, that's crazy, doc. But every now and then somebody does. They just start eating meat and they get healthier. And I don't know, like none of us know what our entire path is, but I can tell you right now I have more optimism. I think I can be a surgeon and help people get better longer because I'll be fitter. I think I already have a better relationship with everybody in my life, including myself. And it's just been a super paradigm shift in my life. And so I have a little YouTube channel, which I'll be honest, is mostly to keep myself on the right track. Like I have 2,700 people who now are like, well, is Dr. Rick going to get fat again or not? And so I'm not gonna. But anyway, I think carnivore is it's a lifestyle. It's not a diet. It is a way of thinking. It brings you into understanding. It's interesting, Dr. Kiltz, who's just an amazing human being, who I met last night, who gave me a handmade pottery coffee cup, a Kiltz cup that I get to take home and drink my coffee out of. And I have not given up coffee and probably won't. You look at, he said the thing last night that really got me. He said, the system's not broken. The system's doing exactly what it's supposed to do.
Right.
Doing exactly what it's supposed to do. And it doesn't care about your kids. And it doesn't care about you. So what can you do? You can heal yourself. You can inspire other people. And you can support those small ranchers who are raising, regeneratively or even not regeneratively. It's funny because I was at the Iowa State Fair the other day and I learned all kinds of stuff and about cattle farming and pig farming that I didn't know. And, we get this ideological propaganda against meat and against eating animals. But man, that's the natural way things happen. To go tell a lion not to eat a wildebeest, right? So I think what we can all do is we can have gratitude in our lives, and we can thank God for the health that we do have. We can make ourselves healthier, and we can make ourselves happier, and we can support those things that are moving in the right direction. We're in a very tenuous time in our country politically, and I think a lot of it is because people aren't happy with themselves. So if you make yourself happy and your neighbor happy, I don't care if they're Harris or Trump, I don't care. Just if you're happier and healthier and doing better, and you sit down with your carnivore Democrat or Republican neighbor and you have a steak, you can probably talk about the issues without trying to stick each other in the neck. But anyway, thank you so much for having me, Carrie. It's wonderful meeting everybody. As my daughters say, I do have to dip because I have a 5.5-hour drive to get back to Iowa tonight. And so I won't be able to stay for a whole lot of the rest of it. But I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. Carrie, you've been an inspiration to me. And by the way, what about having a guy like Kerry in your community, those of you who live there? He's not just an inspirational guy, he's a very talented filmmaker, as you can see. He's revived this theater. and he's just spreading health around the planet right from here in Montello. So isn't that cool? But thank y'all very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
So I had a wonderful weekend. It was amazing. I got to meet Mann from Homestead and Dr. Kiltz, who's an amazing, amazing guy. Got to hear a bunch of carnivore stories and meet a lot of people who have healed themselves with the carnivore diet. So it was a pretty good weekend. I hope you enjoyed coming along, and I'll be going on Dr. Kiltz's show. I'll be going on Kerry's some more. So yeah, it was a really good time, and please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it or if you want to see more. Take care.